women downplay often how much sexual attraction and physical attraction is like at the top of what they're using as a deciding factor, right? Women often say, "Oh, I don't care about looks. It's not about sex," but I found that that's not true. I think that what she was really saying, if we want to be honest, is that the nigga didn't get the pussy wet. I mean, that's really what she's saying. When they talk about connection, it's not really about connection. It's about, does he turn her on? And rather than admit, for a lot of women to admit that that's what they're looking for a man that turns them on, they like to say, "Oh, I'm looking for a good man."
How important is the connection in the relationship? Go ahead and play this clip.
So earlier this year, I ended a relationship and cut off an engagement from a great man. He was a good man. He loved God. He was a praying man. He loved and adored me. He was there for me. He was handsome. He was well educated. He didn't have any kids. He checked all the boxes. But there was still something missing. And I just knew that I could not go through with this marriage. There was just something that did not connect. I felt that there was should have been a connection between he and I in order for me to be his wife. And so I cut off the engagement. And it was so difficult because he was a good man. It's easy when a person is not good. You can justify why you cut things off, but when a person is truly a good person, it's hard to explain. So I found myself trying to explain it to family and friends, and they were asking me a whole bunch of questions that, I could not say, exactly why, other than the fact that I just did not feel the connection. There was something that was not there that I needed to be there in order for this to be my husband. And so I stopped trying to explain it and I just trusted my decision and I went on. But then I got an epiphany and it was just like, have you ever been shoe shopping and you saw a nice pair of shoes and it's like, ooh, I love the color. I love the style. The heel is the right size and it's a reasonable price. Like it's on sale and it's a good shoe. But then when you approach the shoe, you see that it's a size 6 and you need a size 7. Does it take away from the fact that the shoe is a good shoe? Does it take away from the fact that you're getting a great deal for the quality? Does it take away from the fact that the heel is still the right size? It doesn't matter. All of that still makes the shoe is still good. But if it's not your size, it's not the shoe for you. And so that is what I had to accept. Yes, he was a good man. But what that feeling was is that he was not a great fit for me. It didn't take away from who he was, but it was just confirmation that he was not a good fit for me. And that leads me to say that some of us are trying to force relationships when we know they don't fit. It doesn't mean that the person is not good. It doesn't mean that they are not good-hearted people. It just means that they're not a good fit for you. So free them up. Don't continue to settle for things that you know is going to cause discomfort in the future. Me purchasing a size 6 shoe when I wear a 7 is discomfort. Don't do it.
I'm still troubleshooting this cam in between, but I ran across this morning. Quite interesting because most women say that they want a good man. This man that she describes can have all the qualities that most women would say every man should possess. I'm gonna start off with some of the ladies. Maybe you guys can shine a light into this connection. I'm not really sure when the connection should be established. Should it be in the beginning? And even if you are someone that believes in the connection, I'm just wondering if you maintain that connection throughout a relationship. What if that connection drops? I just need a little bit more insight on where this guy's going wrong. So I'm gonna go ahead and who wants to go first? Let me just ask for volunteers. I don't want to just call anybody. I want to get a lady in first, Cloud, because I think this
I'd
is
love to go first.
okay. Go ahead, Fanny Snyder.
Okay, so I completely understand what she's saying. I know that the way that she worded it might not be how people would want you to word things, but I understand what she's saying. Sometimes there are very nice men that society would say, just be with that man. And you could just be with that man and you could live a very good, normal life and probably be fine. But if you have a choice between that man and a man that actually brings you that, it's just a different energy. It makes you excited to be around them, makes you excited to be near them in their energy. On top of him being a good man, you're going to choose him over the he's just a good man, he's good enough. Society says he's good enough every time. So I've experienced that. I've gone on dates with guys that are nice guys. I always choose the nice guy because I want a nice man. And they weren't all good fits. Some of them, they just didn't understand the way that I communicate, and it wasn't a good fit, even though he's still a nice guy. There's nothing wrong with this man. So I understand what she's saying. And now I have a man. We're happy. We're going to be married. So I think it's worth it to wait until you find somebody that's good and gives you that energy that you need. That energy that's going to make you stay married, going to make you still want to have sex with your man. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So it's more of a physical thing, you think?
Hmm.
He has all the qualities that every man should have. It's just is he just not? I got it. Okay. Um, Go ahead, Cloud. Let me go ahead and throw you in the mix.
For me, this is interesting because I feel like this is a perfect example of women being disingenuous. I think that the real issue is that women downplay often how much sexual attraction and physical attraction is like at the top of what they're using as a deciding factor, right? Women often say, "Oh, I don't care about looks. It's not about sex," but I found that that's not true. I think that what she was really saying, if we want to be honest, is that the nigga didn't get the pussy wet. I mean, that's really what she's saying. When they talk about connection, it's not really about connection. It's about does he turn her on? And rather than admit rather than admit for a lot of women to admit that that's what they're looking for a man that turns them on, they like to say, "Oh, I'm looking for a good man. I'm looking for this type of man." But when they get those qualities and it doesn't come with turning them on, all those qualities go out the window. But they'll take a man with none of those qualities that turns them on. So I just feel as though it's disingenuous. Women say that they like certain qualities because it makes them look better publicly. And like socially, it makes them not look like a hoe. It makes them look like a higher quality woman. But the reality is, it's their pussy that they're deciding with. That's why they always say a woman knows if she wants to sleep with you within the first second of meeting you. Because if she meets you, y'all make that eye contact and that pussy jumps, it's up and it's stuck from there on. But if she doesn't feel that feeling down below, it's not happening no matter what you do. So that's what I think it boils down to. It's all primal.
If you wait, but if you were a man and you understood that he would have sex with her, he wouldn't marry her. Couldn't you understand the same thing for a woman? She would have sex with him, but she wouldn't want to be his wife if he's an idiot. He couldn't provide for himself. He couldn't provide for his kids. She wouldn't
But I
want
don't
him to be
believe
her
that.
husband.
I
Okay, we
think
can agree
women
to
desire
disagree.
to be with, but women desire to be with men that they're sexually attracted to. It has nothing to do with any of that other stuff. His finances, none of that. It has
He has to
everything
have
to do with
both.
does she find him attractive? Period.
He
That's
has
it.
to have
Can I
both.
say something?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go ahead and get Asaya in there.
Um, so I'm gonna use her stupid analogy about the shoes. So yeah, stupid analogy of shoes. So when someone doesn't have no pair of shoes and you give them any pair of shoes, they will value though that pair of shoes just simply because they don't have anything else. So they learn how to appreciate what they have just because they don't have other options. But women have fallen into that comparing. Oh, of course, she's going to the mall and she has multiple options of shoes, right? And nowadays, they have created these little things that can actually modify the way that the shoe fits you. The shoe might not be for you, but they still create other accessories that you can put with the shoes or you can combine with the shoes so it fits perfectly for you. So it's kind of like tricking your mind that the shoe is for you, but in reality it's not. So that's why her analogy doesn't apply. At least to me it doesn't. Now I was actually watching a movie yesterday, very interesting, in case that you want to watch it. It's called The Lost Patient, and it talks about how bonding is really important for humans. Let's leave aside the sex and all this stuff. So there was an experiment for 6 kids, and they were just feeding the babies, not creating any bonding. All the babies died. So when you don't create a bonding with a human being, the human is gonna be effed up. Simple as that. So let's put it that way. So connection, it is important, But the thing about connection, human connection, is a deep bond, and that's formed between people. And this is actually when you create this connection, it's actually because you value that person. They feel seen and valued. So during an authentic human connection, you exchange energy. Now it has to be, it's mandatory that you're willing to give that energy. So I don't think she was intentional. She was not trying. She was just comparing, because it's like, what if her person is in Asia, for example? It's 8 billion people in this world, and you're telling me that your person is in the United States.
Yes,
What was
there's
it?
plenty of people that
It
can
is
can
plenty of people out there that are
that
good
can
enough.
mesh with you. Even if you
Yes,
so all of your boyfriends don't necessarily look alike, right? However, they've all been able to turn you on, right? I mean, not trying to get personal with you, but you wouldn't be with a man that isn't good and can make you feel good physically, right? Or am I the only woman that feels this? Maybe I'm the only one that
I'm
okay.
not gonna be comparing
Listen,
my current boyfriend, if I have one, with my exes. I'm not gonna be comparing the way that he
No.
communicates. I'm gonna give him space for him to like feel comfortable with me, especially because I am the person that doesn't necessarily feel comfortable right away with someone. I can't. So I
That's
need to feel
fine.
comfortable with that person. And just because he's telling me nice words or sending stupid texts like telling me how he's gonna make me feel. No, 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 no. I don't need that shit. I don't. So it's kind of
Okay.
like,
You
is there
wait until you can feel that energy, right?
that's not energy.
listen. I think
Uh,
that shoe
Okay.
example that she used like reinforces the superficiality of it, right? Because let's be honest, when have you ever seen a woman go to the store to buy shoes based off of how they fit, based off of how comfortable they are? That's not how women buy shoes. Women buy shoes based off how it looks. So a woman don't care if that shoe is going to tear her corns up and tear her foot up. If those are some red bottoms and it's considered the poppin' shoe, she's buying them and she's wearing them and she's going to go through the pain all night as long as those shoes make her look like some fire. And it's the same thing with the type of niggas that women date. If this dude is beating out the bottom of that coochie and he is physically what she wants him to look like, she don't give a damn how that nigga's making her feel. She don't give a damn if he's not calling back. She don't give a damn if he's not the right fit. The right fit only comes into play when it's not the right when they're not attracted to the person. And that's really all it is. So it's not about fit, it's not about connection. It's about what turns them on. Period. That's it.